Hi everyone, and welcome. The topic for this video lesson is, make sure you like and comment so that I know this video was helpful. Also, comment what topics we should cover next, and do me a favor, ring the subscribe bell. Thanks. This video is going to introduce you to the coordinate plane, and we also call it the Cartesian plane. It gets its name from a famous philosopher and mathematician known as René Descartes. So he created a graph that illustrated two dimensions. And we call it two-dimensional because it goes in two different directions. So we have the direction where you can go up and down. This is the vertical, and we know that this is called the y-axis. But we also can go in the other direction, left to right. This is the horizontal, and this one is called the x-axis. So that's just a short explanation of why we call it a two-dimensional plane. Now this x-axis is called also the independent variable, and we call it that because oftentimes you can choose whatever you want, whatever number you want to represent that value. However, when you change x, it causes a change in y. Therefore, y is dependent upon it, and we call it the dependent variable. So let's just recap all the different names we math people have for the exact same thing. So far, I've told you about x. I've called it independent variable. I have also said that it is horizontal. And we know that that's going from left to right. So all of this refers to the same thing. Then we also talked about y being the dependent variable, going vertically and going up and down. So 4 different ways to say the exact same thing. So back to the coordinate plane. We can number each of these dimensions, right? We can number each pair of dimensions. Let's start with the x-axis. Notice that the x-axis is split into 2 equal halves, right? We have this half and this half. It's split by the y-axis. It splits it into 2. So Descartes said that the right half is going to be reserved for positive numbers and the left half for negative numbers. So let's just number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5's good. And over here, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Now in the center, in the middle, we will have 0. Why? Because 0 is neither positive nor negative, so it has to be right there. Now we can do the exact same thing in the y direction. Notice also that the x-axis splits that y-axis into 2 equal halves. So we have the half above and we have the half below. And we can number them the same way. We can come up here. We know the top is going to be positive numbers, and the bottom is going to be negative numbers. And just number them. And of course, we know the intersection would be 0 again. The intersection is very important. The center, right here in the middle, is where x is 0 and where y is also 0. We call this place the origin. And we can write it like this, parentheses 0, 0, origin. This setup and labeling of the numbers on the coordinate plane is simply a convention. We agree as mathematicians to follow this format. So why is this important? Because each x and y pair helps us to identify a specific location on the plane. And these specific locations we call points. Since it takes two items, an X and a Y, to name every point, we call it an ordered pair. Okay, ordered pair. Written like this, parenthesis X, comma Y, parenthesis. We simply replace the X and Y with the corresponding numbers when needed. For example, let's plot a point. We're going to plot the point -2, 5. And remember, -2 is the X, 5 is the Y. So we're going to go on the X horizontal axis to -2. Don't plot anything, just kind of hold your pencil there. And then we're going to go on the Y-axis, or in line with the Y-axis, up to 5. Now, once you have performed both directions, both dimensions, X and Y, then you plot your point. These are what we call coordinates. We also call them Cartesian coordinates. So once again, we have many names for something that does the same thing. Let's recap. We have ordered pair, XY pair, coordinates, and Cartesian coordinates. They all mean the same thing. Tomato, tomato. So let's plot a couple more examples. Let's plot the point 3, -2. So we'll come over. 3, remember, is the X direction. -2 is the Y direction. It's in alphabetical order, yeah? So we go +3 on the X-axis, kind of hover there, don't plot anything, and then from there go down to -2 in the Y direction and plot your point. One more. Let's try coordinate 0, 4. The X direction, we go to the point 0, hover, don't plot, and then go up to the 4 in the Y direction. All right, this has been your introduction to the coordinate plane. See you in the next lesson.